Welcome, listener. You may be wondering where it is your nightmarish narrators, your ghouls, your ghosts, and fiends of the night actually come from. I can assure you that we were once of the norm, just like you. But we all ended up in the most unlikely of a place. I lived in a small town. Pallet Town it was called. I lived there with my childhood friend for years, though whatever happened to him to make us grow apart, I haven't the slightest clue. Maybe the incident with his father and his sister. I was 13, and I just got my trainer's license. I rushed as quickly as I could to get my Pokemon. I loved it, cared for it, trained it. And eventually, my one Pokemon turned into an entire family. I beat the Elite Four and the champion, my rival. My record would go on in history as the strongest trainer ever. My power knew no bounds. I beat everyone that stood in my path, and it eventually led me to Mount Silver. I stayed there for 2 years, battling trainers who heard a rumor of where I was and wanted to go check it out. They were quickly put in their place. I was on top of the world, both metaphorically and literally. That is, until a young trainer, a couple of years younger than me, challenged me to a battle. I had a Venusaur, Blastoise, Charizard, Lapras, Snorlax, and a Pikachu. No one could beat me, I thought. He decimated my Pokemon. I lay there in shock. All these years I've bested everyone. And just like that it was over. We were miles away from a Pokemon Center, and the snow was blinding. With my Pokemon in their condition, they eventually died. And that bastard killed them! I buried them in the Lavender Town Cemetery and decided to take my own life. I traveled to Cinnabar Island, where I climbed atop an active volcano. I could feel the heat brushing my skin and look back at what I would leave in this world. I take the plunge, the heat burning my skin. I wince and close my eyes as I get closer and closer to my impending demise. As I do, I let out a scream. And then, darkness. I opened my eyes to reveal a world I've never seen before. I wondered if this was where we go after we die. There were so many unfamiliar things here. It looked very dark, yet illuminated at the same time. The trees were old, dead, haunting. The lakes were black and thick, like oil or old blood. And in that lake, I could see him. That bastard that killed my Pokemon. The boy that I must seek revenge on. And then a chilling voice appears from behind me.
Why don't you become one of us? Stay a while, why don't you?
It seemed I had no other choice. After days of no food, no water, I began to feel nauseous and weak.
There. You're just adjusting. You'll change. And then you won't feel this pain ever again.
Then, the day it happened. My skin turned black. My nails grew long and dark, and felt like they had fused with my fingers. My eyes, they became bright to the point of illuminating, and my mouth, the rows of teeth, extending in shape to a sharp point. A cross-shaped scar down my left eye.
There we go. Good as new, right? Now, go find the one you wish to exact your revenge upon, and make him wish that he never should have done that.
The world dissolved around me, and I was back in my own world. There he was, in the middle of a battle. I snuck into the bushes, and in a flash pounced on the kid. I let out a deafening roar. And saw the look of fear in his eyes. I smiled, and carved into his flesh with my claws. Each rip sending chills up my spine. I slashed his throat, bored holes in his chest. I ripped out his intestines and threw them all over the place. I looked at the kid he was battling. Alas. I smiled and faded before her eyes.
Very good, my friend. Very good. It seems you'll find great joy living here. Welcome to the land of nightmares.
Tell your tales. Make those who dare listen never sleep again. Those were his last words to me before walking on.